Welcome back, guys. We're going to be talking about 3.7 solving percent problems. So there's going to be a formula we're going to be given, which is going to be how we solve it all. And if you see, it says A is P% of B. So A over B equals P over 100. So whatever percent we have over 100, okay? Now this formula is going to be quite useful. So when you divide percent problems, there's going to be some key words we need to look for. Now whenever you see what, it's going to be our x, okay? It's going to be our variable. Apologies. Whenever you see x, you're gonna, or what, so wherever it says what, that's going to be our variable. So either that's A or B or P, okay? And is going to be equals of, it's going to be times, okay? There's a multiplication right here. It's multiplication. Okay? So when you're reading it, these are our key terms, okay? So what is either a variable, is an equals, and of is multiplication. Let's look. What percent, so remember our formula, A over B equals P over 100. So what percent, so that tells us that P over 100, we don't know yet. What percent of 25, so multiplied by 25 is 17. Okay? So what percent P over 100 times 25E. Okay, now you can multiply, you can solve this out two ways. You can multiply 25 divided by 100, which will give us P over 4 equals 17. And then we use the multiplication rule of equality to solve this. So P equals, and I believe this is 68. Okay. Now they just multiple, so they did it a different way. Because it's the same idea of the formula. So B is our base. Base is usually the basis in this case. So B would have been 25. A would have been 17. So you could have done 17 over 25 equals P over 100. And then that's how we get this over here, okay? Because you cross multiply. So it's P times 25 equals 17 times 100. So anyway, I just can move here because we can read the problem. So let's look at some examples, and hopefully that will help you take context. Sorry, I'm going to have to zoom in a little more because it's a little bit. Actually, you know what? That's going to be as big as large as we can get it. Okay. Okay, so that's the process they use. So let's look at one of these. So what percent of 20 is 15? So P over 100. This is the two ways. So my way, Mr. Davies' way, P over 100 times 20 of 20 is 15. You can do it this way, or way 2. You do A over B equals P over 100. And they say what percent, so you know P is the variable. Of 20 is going to be our base, so 20 is our base, and 15 is our A. So this is what we're going to get. And then you can cross multiply, so you get 20P equals 15 times 100. And you can solve this out, okay? This is multiplication right here. So this is 20P equals 15 times 100. The same thing as over here. This would be 20 divided by 100 is going to be 5. So P over 5 equals 15. And this one you can solve pretty quickly, just multiplying both sides by 15. This one we would divide both sides by 20. It is the same idea, ultimately, when you get down to it, they're going to be the same answer. So this would be times 55 on both sides. And so P equals, and I believe this is 75. And this is, so P equals 500 divided by 20. One side is 0. And so P equals 75. So notice our answers are the same. So the process is equivalent. Okay? That means we do the same thing on both sides. Okay. Let's keep moving on. So that's percent represents, so the percent equation A is P percent of B. So A is P percent of B. Now, if you do it my way, this is A equals P over 100 times B. Now, was this similar to what we did before? Yes. So, what percent, so example 2, which doesn't follow, but what percent of 136? So, what percent of 136? So, P over 100 times 51, times 136 is 51. Now, notice they do it in this order. It doesn't really matter the order. They're equal statements. We're just, it's just moving it. And then you can solve this. So, what they do is they keep P as a variable. So they go like this. And then they divide both sides by 136. And plugging that into a calculator, you get 37.5%. Okay. Now, what did we do with the 100? We actually then had multiplied it to get this. Okay, so you'll get a decimal point. So you get P equals to 0.375. But that changes when you multiply by 100. Okay. So we multiply both sides by 100 to get it. And then you check their answer. You don't need to worry about that. It should. I mean, you should check your answer, but not because you're. Okay, what number? So what number is 15% of 88? Okay, so all you're going to actually do is just multiply this. So A is going to equal, and if you multiply 15% of 88, you're going to get 13.2. So A equals 13.2. There's your answer right there. Okay, so this is one where you just plug this, you just multiply this out if you want. It's going to be pretty straightforward. Okay. Okay. I don't know why we're just doing this section, but we are. Okay. 20 is 12% of what? So 20 is equals 12.5%. So 12.5 over 100 times what number? So that will be B. So remember, this is A, this is P, and this is B. Okay? They give us 20 is what is 12.5% of B. And what we're going to do is we're going to 12, 20, and we're going to turn this into a decimal. So 0.125 times B. Divide both sides by 0.125. And you're going to get your answer which in this case is 160 equals b. Okay? And do you need to worry about that? Nope. That's pretty much the straightforward answer. Okay? So there's the three ways of looking at it. Find the percent, what percent is. So that would be A, what is equal to percent of something, so percent times something. What number is 15%, so what number is by itself, so that's the variable. Do you need to use these variables? Absolutely not, okay? So you do not need to use just these variables, okay? Okay, so normally I would go into 3.8, but instead what we'll do is you just, for this one, I'll just have some extra questions on the notes. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I'll see you shortly. Okay, bye.